Santi back with another video. This is Semen Retention and the Alpha Energy Part 9. So, one of the things that I was touching on in the previous video is about, a man focusing on developing himself, you know. And so, for me, having not grown up with a father figure, and though there were male figures in my life, they didn't really instill in me any values from the standpoint of like conversation and just sitting down and building with me. It was more so for me. I gained insight into my masculinity just from mere observation. Seeing the type of men that they were, and coming to my own conclusions through deductive reasoning and just using my discernment, my intelligence, and my own intuitive faculties. So what I've come to see from being younger to now, and reaching my prime is a lot of our growth as men comes from, and just people in general, comes from spending that time with ourselves and coming to our own view of the world that is not overshadowed by the status quo. Because what people have to understand is that religion in itself, because a lot of people grow up with, in a religious household, majority of people grow up in a religious household, whether it be Christian, Islamic, in the standpoint of like Western religions. But a lot of people's thoughts in regards to themselves and the world are dictated by religious thinking. And that status quo, that doesn't come from the self. That doesn't come from within, from within you. That's not wisdom. That's not true knowledge. So taking the time to spend with ourselves and developing our own interests, developing our own way of life is essentially what I would say makes a man tap into that true alpha energy, because it doesn't come from something outside of himself. It is developed through him immersing himself into the experiences around him, unfettered by the biases, the judgments, and negative thinking of people, but him desiring to go towards what calls him, ultimately from within himself, to achieve or to know something, based on what's going on around him. And that is how you come to understand reality from a higher level, because you can experience something beyond what people tell you or that you're going to experience. And you will ultimately be deciding life on your own terms. If you can separate yourself from the masses and focus on your own individual needs, desires, and wants, and strive for knowledge and seeking truth, because that will ultimately lead you to your greatest sense of empowerment through knowing yourself and having knowledge from within. And when you gain that, no one can take it away from you. And it won't be on the basis of seeking a woman's validation, trying to find a sense of self through excessive masturbation and porn to rid you of negative emotions that come from you having a lack of control over yourself and the world around you. So this is what we have to be aware of. Semen retention is you going back into your natural state, because you weren't given a penis and sexual energy to waste it outside of reproduction. If you're not engaging in the act of creating life, then you shouldn't be using the energy. It shouldn't be expelled outside of your body. It should be kept within you to build you up, because masturbation is self-destructive. It's not natural. It's not natural. And men who excessively engage in that behavior find themselves at the lower bottom tier in society. and you will see them as being underdeveloped men, and it keeps them in a boy state, because that alpha energy is an aspect of manhood and masculinity becoming one. So choosing to step away from it for a time, to step away from those societal conditioning, you know, you will come into your true power, you know, and in that true power, you will realize what you're capable of, what you're capable of creating, manifesting, and becoming, you know. And that's the ultimate aim of the life of life. And you being born is to fulfill your purpose and create and influence, you know, and reach your highest state, and semen retention, retaining your semen can definitely help you do that. But it will motivate you. That force within you will motivate you to rid yourself of those lower nature, like those traits that are essentially a domination. You being dominated by your lower nature. So you're seeking to merge your higher nature and your lower nature and make them become one. You know. So that's all I wanted to say in this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll drop more videos soon. Love.